Hari Om Tat Sat. Welcome to Swami Jyotirmayananda Society, our journey to self-realization. Please subscribe for the mystical meanings and to enjoy daily satsang. We are currently exploring the book Advice to Students, authored by Swami Jyotirmayananda Maharaj, narrated by myself, Swami Nikhilananda. In today's satsang, we will have the topic of real education begins at home. So let's explore that. It is not just what you learn from schools that make you educated. The greatest teachings are given in the family, not anywhere else. In schools and colleges, you may get the most advanced technical instruction, but only from your family do you learn how to develop real character and integrity. You may get the highest grades in school. You may be offered scholarships and receive numerous awards for excellent achievement. But if you do not know how to be in harmony with your parents, your brothers and sisters, or with your husband or wife later, then you have learned very little. If you do not know the art of pleasing the people around you, then you have not received the real education that allows you to be more noble and integrated and live a life, a purposeful life, a real meaningful life. In an ideal family, ideal does not imply that everybody in the family is a saint. What it implies is that an ideal of harmony is followed with great sincerity of purpose. Father and mother must strive to live in harmony with each other. Children must learn to be sympathetic to the problems of their parents, and parents to be sympathetic to the problems of their children. The older members of the family must be reverenced, and their wisdom must serve as a guiding light to the younger people. When people live together in such an ideal family, there is great joy, peace, and harmony. This does not mean that there will always be good times for everyone in the family. Difficult times certainly will come every now and then. But when you share adversity with the other members of your family, everyone receives healthy encouragement and learns how to move forward with greater wisdom and strength. There are lessons to be learned from each experience. In an ideal Hindu home, if someone becomes sick and the doctor tells him that he should not eat rasgullas or pakoras, which are sweets and different delicious foods, then the other family members will also forego eating these treats. This is symbolic of the fact that each family member must share in the difficulties of the others, which provides a healthy discipline and helps to foster joyous and caring relationships from which everyone learns the greatest lessons of life. It is supporting the other person's emotions and feelings and trying to be in their shoes. Give reverence to your elders. In an ideal family, there should be a special spiritual feeling about elderly family members. However, this special reverence is often mistaken or and absent in today's society, in the modern, so called modern society. In many homes in the West, when parents become old, they are removed from the family unit and taken to old age homes, leaving the family insecure and unstable at times. In the traditional Hindu home, the family unit is often quite large. Father, mother, children, grandparents, and other older people in the family all live together. Although in today's world that is changing also, people want to be more independent and live by themselves. But in the olden days, not too long ago, the elders were revered, and to some extent they are still today in a lot of families that value culture and the samskaras. So there the elders are not discarded, but they're reverenced and their knowledge is enjoyed by all. That ideal should be kept in view. The scriptures say that when you touch the feet of the elders and receive blessings from them, those blessings give you health, wealth, knowledge, peace, and prosperity. But when elders are discarded, you do not receive that blessing. There is a humorous story that sheds light on the need to reverence one's elders. A young married man in the West found his elderly father had become senile and a bother to him and his wife. And so he conversed about the problem with his wife, and they decided that since they did not have enough money to put him into an old age home, they must throw him off a bridge. So the man put his very thin elderly father into a basket and carried him to a nearby bridge. When he was about to do the hideous deed, the father said, "Oh, my son, when you throw me over the side, don't throw away the basket. Take that home with you." And the son said, "Why, father, are you so concerned about the basket?" The father replied, "Because, my son, your son will need the basket someday for you." Of course, these words touched the son's heart and brought him back to his senses, and he brought his father back to his home and took better care of him. The type of culture in which parents are thrown out of the house when they become old is a culture that is focused on pleasure. It's all about me. Let me be happy. In such a culture, one's main concern is how much pleasure can I get? How much free time can I have? And that culture is bringing a lot of misery. All the drug addiction, all the restless minds, all the stress, criminality, and perversion, all of them arise because family life is not healthy. It lacks ethical values. If you want a world with real peace and harmony, promoting a healthy family life is the secret. Honor your parents. The Upanishads say, Matri Devo Bhava, let your mother be God. Pitri Devo Bhava, let your father be God. These words and the concept behind them lead to the development of a deeply reverential attitude between children and their parents. According to the Hindu ideal, the first thing that children do when they first wake up in the morning is go to their mother and father and touch their feet. In turn, the mother and father bless them. Even a grown up person will touch the feet of his father and his mother. Your mother may touch the feet of her mother in law. What does this imply? It implies that you worship God in all those who are elders. In turn, when you receive blessings from a person, it is not the person's ego but rather God within that person who extends his grace to you. The scriptures say that receiving blessings from the elders gives spiritual nourishment to your personality. You gain health, long life, bright intellect, and the moral basis to fight the battle of life in a heroic way. In turn, you help your mother and father to recognize that they are instruments of God. This mutual respect between children and their elders is a powerful cultural process. Touching the feet of your parents is great merit even from a practical point of view. It sets up a psychological atmosphere of harmony. Suppose that your father is angry. If you touch his feet, see what happens to his anger. If your mother does not want to talk to you, practice a little bit of Hindu manners and touch her feet. Seek forgiveness. Then wait quietly for an hour and try to speak to her again. She will be much more open minded. The moment you touch the feet of a person, that becomes he becomes more humble and blesses you. Whatever their mood, they will bless you immediately, instinctively, whether they want to or not. The blessing comes from God deep within them. God is in your mother, in your father, in your guru, in all. If you reverence a person, then the God within the person will respond to you and help you. If you have made an error, you should not be proud or egoistic and cling to it. The moment you recognize an error, you should be able to ask for forgiveness from your parents or from whomever you have harmed. That builds strong character. When you admit your error, you show that you want to overcome it. then no matter what you have done, people look at you with greater love and they become more tolerant and understanding also. You should learn the art of harmonizing with your parents. If you have a problem, learn to talk to your parents. Do not keep your problem hidden in your heart. Parents can advise you, help you, support you. In turn, you enhance the joy of your parents by your presence, by your growth, and your evolution. Through this mutual process, life becomes richer for all. Growing up in this modern technological world, you have the opportunity to learn much more than your parents about many things. Schools and colleges now impart a very high level of academic knowledge in many fields. Such scientific and technological advancements were not available for your parents when they were growing up. Although you may feel proud at times that you know things that your parents do not know, at the same time, you should be humble and respectful. Why? Because your parents are a profoundly important support for you. Do you remember when there was a show or a parade and your father would lift you up on your shoulder on his shoulders so you could see things that he could not? You were higher than him. Knowing that you could see much more than your father, you might develop a false sense of your own importance, forgetting that all the while you were supported by the shoulders of your father. Similarly, in whatever you are now learning, you are supported by your parents. You are on their shoulders, and you should never forget that. So, with this, we conclude our satsang for today. In tomorrow's satsang, we will study the value of family discipline. Hari Om Tat Sat.